Okay, so hello guys. Today we'll be trying a different kind of problem, and which is based on the stepped thermal analysis. Okay, so thermal analysis. I'll be showing you just a question in a minute. Yeah, let me zoom in. Okay, so this is the question. Here in this today we'll be performing thermal analysis of a plate. So a plain plate, and this will be a won't be having any thickness. It's just a plain thin film. You can take it as a thin film. So the temperature distribution will be checked here, and it is given like the first end is at 0 degrees Celsius, and this is maintained as 20 degrees Celsius. So what we have to do is we have to calculate the heat flow rate, and this will be the constant of thermal conductivity is given here as in the unit of watt per millimeter degree Celsius. Okay, so remember the unit as we require it for answers. So this is in millimeter, so everything or all our data will be in millimeter. So I'll be opening answers. You know the steps. APDL, go to APDL, click it. I have already opened it, so I'll be just opening it. So this will be our interface, and now today in preferences, this will be thermal and not structural. So this will be a thermal process, and so I'll click on thermal and I'll click on OK. So now today you'll be seeing some different options here, and we'll talk about that, and we'll just proceed now. Okay, so firstly, as we know, we have to go into preprocessor. Now element type. So today we'll be having a plain element, because as I said, we are doing a thin film, means we are doing an analysis of a thin film. So it will be add. Now here go to add, and this will be today thermal solid element. Okay, and this will be solid, and now it's asking for different types here. So all these denote the different kinds of accuracy. So you can have a triangular element or triangular mesh, you can have axial mesh, you can have quad mesh. So we need a quad mesh element, and it will be this will represent it finished. So this is 55, that will be fine for our analysis, or you can select even 77. I have click on OK, and yeah, you can see the element as plain 55 element. So I'll close this tab. This has been added. I'll close this tab. I'll now go into material properties. So today material properties go into material model, and see here before it was structural in my previous video. If you have seen, it was structural. Now it's showing thermal. And why thermal? Because today we are doing thermal analysis, and we have selected the preferences as thermal. Okay, and as you can see in the question, there are two different types of material, A and B, with different thermal conductivities, right? So today we will be adding two materials as defined in the first video. So if you know, we have to select a new material from here. I'll be showing it right now. Go to thermal, go to specific heat, wait, go to thermal, go to conductivity, go to isotropic. Yeah, so we have to give the conductivity values, which is 55 into 10 raised to minus 3. So we'll put it as 55 E minus 03. Okay, so click on OK, and this model has been added. Right, now go to material, go to new model, and the ID will be 2, that will be fine. But now see the material number 2, we have to again add the isotropic property, and for material number 2 the thermal conductivity is much lower, that is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 3. So you can give 0.1 e power minus 3 or 1 e power minus 04. Both of them are fine. Okay, so click on OK, and see both the materials are added. If you want to check the properties, double click and you can see the properties here. Okay, so 55 into 10 raised to minus 3, it's this. And now close this tab. So now today we won't be using sections, because this sections tab is used for beam or whenever there is a use of line element. So today this sections tab will be of no use to us. We'll go directly into modeling, and we will create an area, because we have to work on a plane. We'll create a area. So for area, firstly you need to create the key points, right? You need to create a key point. So you will go to create, you will go into key points, and you click in active CS. Now I'll show you the question. So here's the question. It's 2 and 1. So now we have to keep in mind both x and y dimensions itself. So while giving the elements, first element will be always origin, so 1 0 0 and 0. Click on apply. Now go to second. Now what should be your second element? Second element will take it at this one. Okay, so second element is what? It is at 0, but the y axis is 1, right? So y element will become 1, so this will be 0, this will go as 1, and I'll click on apply. So you can see the second point, key point is added. Now the third key point is let's keep it at this one. So this is 2 mm ahead and 1 mm above. So x component will be 2 here. So I'll make it as 2. This is 1 and this is 0. I'll click on apply. See, you can see the third element has appeared. I'll do for fourth. Now fourth is at 0 and 2 remains the same. So this will be 2. This goes to 0 and I'll click on apply. Similarly, I'll be doing for all the other elements. I won't be speaking much, but you can understand. Now here in this case, after 2 it goes to 6, so the x component will be changed to 6, or it will change to 6, and the y component remains 0 itself. Y component will be 1 for the 6th point. Then it again changes again plus 2 mm. So now this time this will be 8, and this will be a 7th key point, and it will come here somewhere. So I click on apply. See, it's here. And now the last or 8th key point will be having the component 8, and the y component will be 0. I'll click on apply. So now this whole key points are created, for which we have to generate an area. Okay, so I'll click on OK. Now this was a bit tedious method. The another method I'll be showing you in the next practicals, which will be conducted later, and from there we can directly create an area with rectangle. Now since we have created the key points are joined in areas via the arbitrary function. So after creating key points, go into area, click on arbitrary and through key points. Okay, so now we have to select the key points to make an area. 3 and 4. And now once one area is done, click on apply. See, this becomes blue. Now select another 1 2 3 and 4 and click on apply. This creates another, and now the last one 1 2 3 and 4, and yeah, click on apply. It will create just here. That was just an illusion, no worries. Now click OK since all your areas are created. Again, once your areas are created, now you need to mesh it, right? So this time meshing, we used to create elements, right? So we're going to meshing, mesh tool, global. Global first we have to do for these two elements, since they are of same material. As you can see in the question, they are of same material A. Okay, so I'll go into global. Here I'll set the material number as 1. Okay, and I'll click on OK. And now here we have to divide this areas into elements, not the line. First we used to select set in the lines. Now we'll select areas set, because we are sizing the areas here. Okay, so now we have to select the areas this and this. Okay, because we have to, the material one is for these two areas. We click on apply. Element edge length, so this is of 1 millimeter. So if you give element edge length as 2, it should give an error, because how can you have an element greater than the minimum size of the whole area, right? So this has to be less than 1 in our case. So I'll keep it as 0.1. So what will happen on keeping it as 0.1? It will create 10 elements here, right? Because 1 divided by 0.1 is 10. So I'll click on OK. And if you don't see any changes, go to plot and multiplots. So now you can see there is some line created. Yeah, it's divided into areas, but meshing is left, right? So Alt Tab, because this window disappears, and go into mesh. Now click mesh, and which areas do we have to mesh? This and this one, because it is made of material 1. So I'll click on OK. Okay, so these two are meshed, but oh, this disappears. Don't worry, we know what is the drill. Go to plot, multiplots, and yeah, it comes again. So now go to mesh tool again. We have to mesh this, but first we need to change the material. So for changing the material, go into global, go to set and change this material to 2 and click OK. Now go into areas, select this area, click apply. We can keep the element length as same, or we can even reduce it, but I'll be keeping it as same and I'll be clicking OK. Now this thing disappears and I brought it back. So now go into meshing and select this thing and click apply. So you can see everything is meshed now. Got it? So after meshing, now we need to apply loads. Loads is what? In our condition there is no force, but it's the temperature at point A and at point B. So this is the temperature at 0 degrees Celsius at this point and 20 degrees Celsius at this point. So how to give? Now see, 0 degrees Celsius is not any node, it's on the whole line of nodes, right? Because in ANSYS now there are line of nodes, so each node needs to be at 0 degrees Celsius. So as I taught you in the last lecture, if you need to zoom into some particular area, just select it and drag. Okay, so now this is the area and each node needs to be at 0 degrees Celsius. So we'll go into loads, define, apply. Now see, we would used to have displacement and force and other terms here, but now this will have thermal because it's the analysis is thermal, right? So click on thermal, click on temperature because we know the temperature at this point, right? So click on temperature and click on nodes. So now you have an option, you can pick each node like this, or else what if there are 100 nodes here? So I'll click cancel here because I have to show, and I'll click on nodes. I'll select this thing, box, and I'll just drag and make a box like this. See, it selects these nodes and I'll click apply. Now what do we want? We want temperature to be at what value? 0. Now see, ANSYS is dimensionless, so because the unit of this is what millimeter degree Celsius, so we'll keep this also at 0 degree Celsius and not Kelvin. Okay, I'll click OK, and this is done. It has a temperature now, right? Now the next drill is to give temperature in this region. So I'll click on nodes again. I'll what to do? I'll just zoom into the model a bit. Oopsie. And now I'll use the box selection and I'll box only this. Don't keep it like this, otherwise it will select these nodes also, but you have to keep in mind that you stay under this white line. So just keep it till here and see all these nodes are selected and click apply, and temperature should be at 20 degrees Celsius. So I'll click on 20 and I'll do OK. So now this is at 20, this is at 0, and now we just solve the model. So we'll go into solution, current ls, and yeah, DJ Sangi guys, you will need to have a screenshot of the previous this area before the practicals if they ask for something. So I'll click on OK and solution is done, close. So now we need to see the temperature distribution, right? So go into general, go into plot results, go into nodal or elemental solution, it depends on us, completely on us, and go into thermal flux. Okay, and in thermal flux you can either select X or thermal flux vector sum. I'll click apply and I'll click OK. So just a second, yeah, so this is the total flux. Like the total flux is decided upon when how much heat flow will be there in total, like the total resistance that will be provided. It's kind of like that. Okay, so this is a total heat flux from my analysis which was done. It's same as this one. So instead of that, we can also find the nodal solution for the what we can say, the temperature distribution. So I'll go to nodal solution, I'll go to degrees of freedom solution, nodal temperature, and I'll click on apply and I'll click OK. So yeah, you can wait, just I'll zoom into the model here. Yeah, you can see it's distributed, like this region is the coldest because coldest, and this region is the hottest, and this happens because this has very high thermal conductivity, and hence it lets the temperature go. And also in these regions the thermal conductivity is low, then hence the temperature varies. So that was all for the third practical. And yeah, if you want list results, you can do the same thing as mentioned in the previous two. Go to a nodal solution and take the temperature, and the elemental solution and take the temperature. DJ Sangvi guys, you will need to screenshot this and the thermal flux which I showed for the practical if you want to upload. Okay, and thank you very much. Yeah, that was all for today's session.